A good morrow to this fair assembly, my TJ scholars, and welcome to yet another new week of school. Today is Monday, October the 26th, and man, do we have a lot to talk about today. So, first of all, a reminder, friends, next Monday and Tuesday, not today, but next Monday and Tuesday, November the 2nd and the 3rd, that's parent-teacher conferences. So, your parents get to hear your teachers brag about what an excellent job you all have done this year. The other great part for you, no school those days. So no school next Monday, Tuesday, parent-teacher conferences instead. Now, as we have been talking about, friends, we know that we are getting ready to open the school for everybody. And remember that you all are going to be assigned like a half-day session that you will attend TJ. So this Friday, October the 30th, you and your families will get an email from us and we'll let you know whether you're going to be in the morning session here at TJ or the afternoon session here at TJ. Now, friends, we do have some families that have decided to go with our virtual option. So if you're on the virtual option, you too will have an AM session or a PM session, okay, a morning session or an afternoon session. And then whenever you are not here, you are going to be going to your encore classes and then another couple things that we'll tell you about. But be on the lookout for that later this week on Friday the 30th. Now, also a reminder that this Wednesday on the 28th, we are going to have just a brand new schedule just for that day, okay? Because our 4th and 5th graders are going to listen in on a book talk, and so that means that we need to have a new schedule even for 3rd graders. Again, that'll just be for Wednesday. Now, speaking of new schedules, a reminder, friends, that on November the 9th, that's a Monday, November the 9th, we have a brand new schedule for everybody, Why? Well, because our 3rd graders come back face to face on Tuesday the 10th. And we know that this new schedule, guys, it calls for Mondays to have a morning meeting. And then you all are going to have independent work where you're really not going to be online, you're not going to be seeing your teachers at least. That'll be every Monday starting November the 9th. So be on the lookout for that new schedule. Your teachers already have it, but we'll get out to you guys so that you and your families kind of know what's going on. Now, also, guys, while we're talking about that encore block, friends, I want to give a reminder to everybody, and this reminder includes now, as we speak, boys and girls, listen. Go to your encore classes. Let's be sure that just as you all are checking in for math and language arts, guys, let's also be checking into your encore classes, gym and PE and STEAM and art and music and library and all those extra classes. Those teachers, guys, work really hard to come up with some cool things for you. So just a reminder, guys, those classes, they are part of school too. So let's make sure we're doing a good job checking in. We're attending all of those classes. Which now takes us to the anxiously awaited edition of Where is Mr. Swanson? First, let's start with where was Mr. Swanson? And we had several of you who checked in and you talked it over with your classmates and your teachers, and you knew that last week I was at the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial. However, that's not exactly where I was. I was there, but the thing that we were looking for was that statue that I showed you all. And specifically, again, several of you talked it over, you were able to figure out that Mr. Swanson was at the statue for Eleanor Roosevelt. And what was really cool to me, friends, is that you and your classmates, a lot of you talked this out, and you not only knew where I was, but you even knew a little bit about Mrs. Roosevelt. She is such an important person from history. A lot of people know that she was married to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but listen, she was much, much, much more than just the wife of a president. Guys, she was active in politics. She was active in civil rights. I told you last week about her involvement with the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. She was just an amazing lady, so you need to know about her. We had several classes that knew where I was. Mrs. Flazier's class, Mrs. Dubois' class, Mrs. Fine's. Mrs. Fine's class was mostly right. They knew that I was standing next to a statue of Eleanor Roosevelt. They weren't sure exactly where I was, but because I am a beautiful and a kind guy, Miss Fine's class, I'm going to give you credit for it anyway. So Mrs. Lauer and Mrs. Sheldon's class, what was kind of cool about Mrs. Lauer and Mrs. Sheldon's class is that they knew that President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and President Teddy Roosevelt were actually cousins, which was cool. Nice job, guys. And then Mrs. Scommer's class, we had some people that knew some things. Mrs. Scommer's class, guys, they knew that there was an occasion where the pilot, Amelia Earhart, took Eleanor Roosevelt for a plane ride. I didn't know that, so I got a chance to learn from you all. So thank you. Way to go, Miss Commerce class. And also knowing where I was were Mrs. Calabrese's class and Mrs. Hughes' class, Miss Shabetta, and Miss Kawa's class. Very cool. So let's turn to now. Where is Mr. Swanson? Let me move around a little bit so you can tell, guys, I am at a river, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I am at the Potomac River. Now, I'm going to give you a couple clues here. Let's see if we can't figure this out. So, that building in the background right there, that is the Kennedy Center. Really, really, really cool place. So, another couple hints. Today's location, guys, is actually connected to some previous announcement locations. Okay, so for instance, I am standing at a spot where if you got on a boat at one of my other announcement locations, that boat could, if you wanted, take you and drop you off right here. So think about that. If you got on a boat at another one of our announcement locations, that boat could take you here. Here's another connection to where Mr. Swanson is. If you walked behind me, maybe a mile or so, you would be at the spot of another different announcement location. So think it all over. At the Potomac River, and there is the Kennedy Center in the background. Think about where I've been before, another location where you could get on a boat. Think about where I have been that might be that way just a little bit, and that will lead you to an answer of the question, where is Mr. Swanson? All right, friends, let's wrap it up. Just like always, boys and girls, let's be respectful, let's be safe, let's be responsible, and just like every single day, no matter where we are, let's do some good today. Take care. Have a good one, friends.